Wowee, we've got a huge stack of comic books for this week, and howdy, we're going to do some on-screen videos here. I got a stack of comic books. Let's go through it. I've got some amazing consignment finds and a big stack of books. Normally, indies are my largest part of my pull box, but this week, DC wanted to win that. So let's take a look. If we haven't met yet, howdy, my name is American Texan, and I love talking about comic books, and I prefer reading comic books, but there's a few things that I'd like to collect. So we're all about the stories here, but also about the art and the enjoyment of the craft. Let's let everyone else talk about the news, updates, and doom scrolling of comic books. Let's stay focused on the positive here. So if you want to talk about comic books, see what I'm reading, share what you're reading, let's nerd out in the comments below, and let's enjoy this fantastic hobby that we get to enjoy. I'm going to go over the consignment finds that I found really quick, starting with Conan number 1. I jumped in on Conan around issue 16, and I caught up with the trades, but this showed up, and I know this is worth more than $15. So I grabbed this one from my local comic shop just to have the number 1 for a while. If I ever do decide to sell it, I think it'll be worth a lot more than that. Additionally, Mike Baron is one of my favorite comic writers. I'm collecting his Punisher run, and I decided after finding a big batch of Badger at a local antique shop, I decided to go ahead and start collecting some Badger. He's a wild character. I recently read the newest Shock'em Roll, I believe is what it was, and I decided to go ahead and collect some Badger. So I got a lot of issues that I was missing. I'm basically missing everything over issue 50, as well as a few 40 issues. So my shop got in a big batch. I pulled out all the ones I needed. Each of these I think were $3, which I think is a good deal to try to chase the full collection there. Some of them do get more expensive. Like there's a Badger book out there. I don't remember which one it was, but it was $150. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how rare it was. It's not so much I think that they're popular, but I think it's that they're more rare. Also got this Badger Bedlam book. It's a little bit thicker. I don't know anything about this issue here or this book here, but it's got Mike Baron's name on it. It's got Badger on it. I'm going to try to collect it. Another thing that I do love to collect, and I don't collect a lot of comic book covers. I don't collect a lot of artists. The one exception is Artgerm. That's Stanley Artgerm. I think it's Luau, and his Marvel books. I don't collect all his covers, just the Marvel books specifically. And I got a huge one that I've been chasing, and that is Sins of Sinister, Miss Emma Frost. This one is a tough one to find. There's another Emma Frost that's hard to find. His Emma Frost is a very popular book, so it's real tough to find this one. I am so glad that I got this. Not only that, I think I got it for cover price, and I think that's fantastic. Yes, there are other versions without the trade dress, what the Artgerm studio calls pure art, but I'm happy just to collect the ones with trade dresses. And finally, I also am collecting the Marvel Classic Swimsuit books. I think they're very cheeky. I think they're a lot of fun. They're kind of like, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. They're kind of written with that style. So I enjoy reading them. And Marvel Swimsuit, I got 2 more here. I am just missing 1 more. I have a full Marvel Swimsuit Classic collection now with these 2 added to my collection. I'm missing 1 more. I believe it's the Madripoor cover. I can't remember who's on the cover, but it's got 2 people on the cover. So I am so excited to add this to my collection. I will soon have a complete collection. On to the trades for the week. I got 2 trades that came out. I got Wolverine, Old Man Logan, very much required reading, both from one of my favorite writers, Mark Millar, and from one of my favorite artists, Steve McNiven. And this one is printed on the pulpy paper, and I really think that helps the art shine more. So very much looking forward to this, having the full. I don't have any of the singles. This was before I really started reading comics, so I'm glad to have this. I did hear that some of the Marvel Premiere are dropping some pages, which is very unfortunate. I hope there's not a lot of pages dropped in this one. Lastly, for trades, I got DC Finest Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Don't have any of this. This was, again, before I was reading, so I'm excited to have this to go through someday. This will be what I categorize as apocalyptic reading, meaning when there's an apocalypse, I'm going to use this to pass the time. All right, now let's go on to this week's pulls. Starting with Marvel, I've got 4 Marvel books here. Fantastic Four. I like Ryan North. I loved his first Fantastic Four run, but this one right here, this current series, is barely holding me on. I enjoyed the time travel story, but I did not like the execution of it. So Fantastic Four, this is going to be the make or break issue. Also got It's Jeff. This is the full series here. This is number 5 to finish out the series. I enjoyed issue 4 the most, but really at this point, I'm just finishing it out with issue 5. I'll have it for my kids to read someday. If Jeff ever pops off on screen like Baby Yoda, then it'll be something fun to have for the kids to have Jeff the Land Shark. Totally opposite side though, Marvel Zombies. I requested to pull or advance solicited Marvel Zombies Red Band, and I kind of regretted it. But since I went ahead and advance solicited it, I decided to go ahead and rate it. And I actually enjoy the premise, the idea of Marvel Zombies throughout the Silver Age introductions. So looks like we got Black Suit Spider-Man. Maybe this will be Marvel Zombies in the Secret Wars. I'm not sure. Lastly, Ultimate Spider-Man. The last 2 issues have been a lot of talky talk. I am enjoying what Hickman's doing here, but it's really becoming more Ultimate New York rather than Ultimate Spider-Man. So I'm hoping we get some action. I'm not one of those that are complaining that there's not a lot of Spider-Man. I think Hickman has created a New York universe that's very intriguing, very captivating. But again, I'm ready to get back to some action, especially since we only have 3 more issues. We have this one and 2 more. And going on to DC, this is what I'm talking about. DC is competing for my pull box this week, starting with Superman. You know, it's KO. What else can you say? Beautiful art. It's an automatic pull. New History of DC. I know a lot of people are not liking this one. I'm enjoying it. It reminds me of the Scholastic Book Fair growing up, and you'd get the encyclopedia books. This one's just in issue format or floppy format, but I do enjoy that. I get the covers with it. The Samney cover, Chris Samney is one of my favorite artists. I think he just won some award recently. So, you know, I would have gotten the trade, but instead I'm glad I got the singles just so I can enjoy that art a little bit more in my collection. Another DCKO Justice League Unlimited tie-in. What can you say? It's part of DCKO, so I'm going to grab it. Green Lantern, I'm a little behind on, but I like that couples cover there, if I can get my camera to focus. So we got a little bit of star-crossed, a little bit of romance there maybe. I really like Hal and Carol's dynamic, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. Absolute Wonder Woman is an absolute pleasure. Definitely, I think, much better from what I'm seeing on the current Wonder Woman run with Tom King. I think Thompson gets it, and I like what Comics League said. Like, let's give mainline Wonder Woman to Kelly Thompson, who's writing Absolute Wonder Woman. Can she write both? I don't know, but really enjoying this one. And again, I just love the way Hayden Sherman, I believe is who it is. I love the way he draws Absolute Wonder Woman. I think it shows her prowess, her height, her dominance, but also her innocence in the way that she was raised. And then we've got The Flash. This is Mark Waid writing this one now. So I added it to pull. I know he's not popular just in personal circles, but you know, I do enjoy his writing. I'm enjoying all the DC stuff that he's writing. So you write a good story. I don't care what you believe. It's a good story. I'll get it. And so this is The Flash. It does go into DCKO, but I'm in it. And then lastly, we've got Action Comics Facsimile. I enjoy collecting the facsimiles. I like reading these stories in the format that they came out. I also enjoy that you get the original ads, you get the original letters to the editor. I like that it's like just having a copy of the real thing. So I really enjoy having these facsimiles. In fact, I've got a short box now of just facsimiles. And let's finally move into the indies, and you can see there the one I'm looking forward to the most. But let's go into Hornsby and Halo. I'm enjoying this one. It's cute, it's nice, it's all ages. Not everyone's cup of tea that's really enjoying everything coming out of Ghost Machine, but I think it's just good enough to keep pulling to see everything that's happening. I'm going to try to keep this in front of my face. Maybe that'll stop blurring it. And then also from Ghost Machine, we've got Sisterhood. I still am enjoying this one. I'm not a huge horror reader, but this one's right on the edge of thriller. And in this one, she's obviously starting off in prison. I have no idea where the story can go from here, so I'm very interested to see what happens there. Escape number 3. Let me tell you, I did not enjoy issue 1 that much, and I didn't realize I hadn't added it to my pull, but it was. So I had number 2. I'm going to pay for it because it was on my pull list. I take responsibility for that, and I actually enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the backstory of the main character. So number 3, can it pull me back in? Can it hook me? Number 2 pulled me back in, I guess. Can it hook me? That's the question. Space Ghost number 4. I mean, you know, I wish I could talk more about these fantastic books, but what can I say that hasn't already been said? Amazing, amazing writing from David Pepos. Amazing art from, I think, is it Jonathan Lau? Yeah, just awesome stuff. It's just a classic, good, pulpy book, and those are some of my favorite. Also similar to Speed Racer. Now, this is a one-shot. This is not part of the Speed Racer mainline, but I believe it's connected, but it's not like issue 3. So this is a one-shot. Tales from the Road. This is written by Mark London, who is, I think he's the founder or CEO of Mad Cave. So excited to see what he writes there. I love Westerns. Hello, can you tell? But I really enjoy Westerns. My LCS owner really highly recommended this, said the first few stories in this one were exceptional. So of course, you know, I got to have it, but I was already on my pull list. My shop was behind on Conan. We didn't get 24 last month, and it just came in now, although 25 came in first, so I'm not sure what happened there, but now I've got a copy of 24. And then we move into the prestige formats, or I guess the big magazine format. We've got Savage Sword of Conan Reforged. I really hope there's no edits in this one, because usually I think when they bring something out and it's not a facsimile, they do something like this, they're adding or taking away something. So I don't know too much about this, but you know, Titan puts out something Conan, I'm going to read it. So Conan Reforged, it's kind of like a reprint, but I wonder if they did something to it. I'm not sure, I should know, but it's there. And then finally, we got Skinbreaker. Yes, that is the prestige format. I am so glad I got the prestige format. Look, I read books for the story. I love comics for the serialized story format. The fact that we can get so many stories at once. You can get a little bit every month or a series every year, kind of like TV. So I love comic book stories. But when Wes from Thinking Critical said that the art in here was going to be good because of the artist, David Finch, I wanted to make sure that I got it in prestige format. And I did, and let me tell you, I do not regret it. In fact, I even opened this up in the comic shop, right? I couldn't even wait to see the art. I wanted to see it in the comic shop. And this thing is gorgeous. So if you have the means, I highly suggest it. This is Skinbreaker prestige format. That's all the books that I'm reading this week. I'm super looking forward to all the DCKO stuff. Marvel, you know, it's not so much that I'm looking forward to it. It's just that, you know, I'll read it and I hope to enjoy it. That's kind of my Marvel experience nowadays. And of course, for the indies, I'm looking forward to Skinbreaker the most. All right, let's move into the crowdfunders that I almost forgot. The stuff that came in the mail. We got Morningstar Chronicles. I believe this is number 1. Jared Brickley and Marcus Rosado. Comes with a little bookmark there. I believe it was on Fund My Comic. You know, a lot of these guys, I listened to them on John's Long Box, and I like the cut of their jib. I like their pitch. So I ordered the book, and then it shows up a few months later, and I have a hard time remembering what I ordered. But I am looking forward to this one, Morningstar Chronicles. I remember a little bit about this one. This is another Fund My Comic book, Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1. This is by Levi Skeen. And this has something to do with, like, if superheroes were memorialized, like we have the Veterans Memorial in DC. This is an interesting take on that. It sounded intriguing, so I went ahead and backed it. A couple of things I got in the mail. I am trying to, actually, let me go through this first. I got some stuff from my comic shop online. This is Adventures of Superman, number 1, Book of L, by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I missed out on number 1 at my LCS, and so I had to order it online. And funny enough, does this look familiar? Conan number 24. So when I ordered this, I was like, well, I didn't get Conan 24. I guess they just missed it in my pull box. So, and I didn't see it on the shelf. So I ordered it from my comic shop online, not realizing that my LCS, the shipping, I assume it was the distributor, not my LCS. It was a month late. So now I've got 2 copies of these, but that's okay. Speaking of Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman Book of L, I read issue 1 online and I was totally lost. I didn't quite understand what was all going on. So I figured I need to go back and read the volumes. I got volume 1 of Action Comics by Philip Kennedy Johnson from my LCS, but they didn't have 2 and 3. So I ordered 2 and 3 from Amazon, used a gift card that I got for a celebration. So I got those coming in the mail. What a huge week for comics. What a great time to be a comics fan. If they don't want to enjoy comics right now, let them not enjoy comics. Even if you're the only one enjoying something, don't let anyone else get in the way of your enjoyment. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this video. And I'm going to change the format on the videos here. On Fridays now, we're going to do Main 2 review, where we'll go through Marvel and DC reads and my reviews of what's come out that I read that week. And then on Mondays, we're going to do indie reviews. We'll review Image, Dark Horse, all the guys you can find at your LCS, as well as any of the indies from the crowdfunds that come in. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.